Everyone, Pitt here. This is Men Behind the Curtain. I am your co-host, and with me is my good friend Eli.
How's it going, everybody?
So if you were looking for a podcast or any type of entertainment whatsoever, somewhere between the realms of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver and the entire series of Seinfeld, you have now found it. This is a show about everything and nothing all at the same time.
And probably at times, some of the same maturity level with Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. So we're going to play a little word association game right now just to get things going. I'm going to give a word. Eli's going to give me either in one word or two his thoughts on it. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Bitch.
That's incorrect. We were looking for dumb cunt.
Yeah, that works too. Or honestly, there's a lot of action for her. There's dumb, there's noisy. Yeah, I can go off.
Actually, I have to take that back. She lacks the depth and the warmth to be considered a cunt.
To be fair, Jasmine Crockett, I'm not going to get better. Fucking bleach blonde, bad built butch body. And she was so fucking triggered by that she had to take a fucking bikini photo. That looked photoshopped as all hell.
I'm not going. I've never seen the photo. I don't think I want to.
I think I saw it on Twitter. So
oh, well, that figures. It's on X.
Oh, fuck you, Elon. I'm not calling you like crisis.
All right, so then we'll go to the next one. Next word is the NFL.
Honestly, the NFL's just fucking things.
But that's like not one word.
Confusing. Because on the one hand, I just want to see my football. I don't want to see Colin Kaepernick taking
But you gotta love the hair. You've gotta love the hair.
Yeah.
I have none.
One thing that I will say though, I absolutely loved this last season because I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I have never been a big fan of her music, and honestly, don't come for me. I think that she's a little bit overrated. However, I fucking loved how triggered people got over her presence.
It definitely was a money maker of some sorts, yes.
Oh, I was tickled.
So, all right, next phrase or word, MCU.
I want to say they're back. Deadpool was really fucking good, but I didn't get everything from Deadpool that I really. I actually made a TikTok about it earlier today. I wanted it to have a bigger impact on the MCU. I wanted it to finally be what brings into the picture. Now I know there's been a couple of cameos. I know that Namor is Marvel is. I haven't watched the Marvels yet, but I know Beast appears. But through all of this, you have to wonder, after Infinity War, where the fuck are they? And merging two different universes makes sense that they did. But overall, I did that. And also, as a millennial, I kind of feel like Deadpool and Wolverine was like a love letter to us because of all the things that we've seen in our lifetime. Animated series, all the fucking backstage drama between Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes in Blade Trinity. Of course, the 2000 movie. Like, it just felt like everything came full circle. I fucking love
it. You do know that was all from Generation X, right?
Yes, but Gen X, I think you guys probably had more time to get introduced to X-Men and all that, whereas the 90s show was our introduction. That's how a lot of us, myself included, were even introduced. Prior to that, it only lasted, like, I think one season, but there was Kitty Pryde in the X-Men. That's where he was Australian, which I think that's actually what Deadpool was alluding to with that weird-ass fucking accent where he messed with Wolverine skeleton.
I just thought it was because Hugh Jackman was Australian.
Honestly, either.
So, since we're on the topic of the multiverse, DCEU.
Disappointing. There was so much they could have done right. The one thing that I will say that I think they nailed it more often than not was in fantastic. I don't think anybody can disagree that Margot Robbie, fucking amazing Hope. It was a little bit shaky in the first Suicide Squad because her accent kind of came and went. But by the time Birds of Prey came out, I didn't like Birds of Prey, but I did like her acting performance. And of course, the Suicide Squad, she had perfected the accent. It was fucking Henry Cavill. I don't know if there's anybody. Well, actually, I take that back. The internet does. I know there's people who don't like Henry Cavill, but he fucking nails it. Honestly, Affleck wasn't bad.
I liked Affleck. I liked his portrayal of Bruce Wayne a little bit more than the Batman, but you got to remember the Batman that he was portraying was the almost that like post-apocalyptic type Batman. I can't remember the artist's name off the top of my head. That actually
Frank Miller.
Yes, the Frank Miller Batman. Yes.
Oh, so yeah, he did Dark Knight.
Yeah. All right. D&D.
I don't know if I could do that in one word.
You get two. You get 2 words.
Fucking unhinged. Like, so with the campaign I'm in, we're actually finishing it right now. We have like 1, possibly 2 sessions left. So I have maybe I'm biased. I have my 2 personal favorite moments for the entire campaign. So we got arrested, we got thrown into jail, and they picked me to interrogate. But of course, they're not just asking questions. No, I had to get tortured. So for the next
usually you pay extra for that,
and usually there's consent involved. So the next 2 to 3 sessions, every word out of my mouth is about finding that motherfucker. And I'm even talking about like, I'll find his kids, I'll fucking kill them, I don't care. But so fast forward, we're having a battle in a basement dungeon area. Oh, there's a portal in the middle. Portal's important here. I get polymorphed into a T-Rex. Now my character is usually a dwarf barbarian. I get polymorphed into a T-Rex. And finish the battle. I'm still a T-Rex for like another hour. We find the jailer. Now the portal has been corrupted at this point. And basically anything that falls into it gets incinerated, atomized. So I'm like, I'm still a T-Rex. Does anybody have any rope? So I put my tail up. We throw the fucking rope over my tail, and we lower the jailer, the guy who tortured me, into the portal, Terminator 2 style. It took him 10 minutes to die. My second favorite one, I personally think I have the coolest kill of the entire campaign. I have a custom weapon, so I would fight with an axe, but I think the guy made me a custom weapon because I started playing God of War, I got really, really into it, and I love the axe. He throws a Leviathan axe, he can call it back just like normal. But he said it so that I don't have to call it back, it just comes back as a... So I throw it, hits the guy over the head, kind of comes over, and on the rebound, it comes right through his chest. Think Alien with the chest burst. So I personally think I have a skill with it.
All right, we're going to do one more word association before we get into whatever it is we're going to get into, because that's how we do things. No script, don't know what the fuck we're doing, but we're going to do it anyway. Next word, I'm looking for a good one. How about that asshole on TikTok that's been trolling you for a while? I can't remember which one because there's so many of them.
So there's one right now. So I've actually gotten. Oh wait, you back up to the Work Association.
I think I got it with asshole.
The one I had in my mind right now, I'm going to say illiterate cunt. Reason I'm saying that, I got roped. I shouldn't say roped. I got kind of looped into a couple of friends. There's one person. I actually made a video about this yesterday. I stitched something. So she is Canadian. There's a case going on here in the U.S. right now one of the people that I made friends with is a witness in a, I don't know what word we should be using for this, assault. Uh, but it's an assault case. A man against a woman. Not, you guys can use your imagination. So my friend is a witness to this. And the person that I'm thinking of, the one I call the literate cunt, is she wrote a letter to discredit my friend as a witness. She is essentially defending a man who assaulted multiple women. Now, the reason I called her an illiterate cunt is because if you ever watch her making a video, whenever she puts text across the screen, it's grammatically fucked. You have no idea what she said. Whenever she talks, it's always, like she just can't get it out. And plus, she also draws her eyebrows like Dallas, Archie. Not McDonald's, McDowell's.
Home of the Big Mix.
I'm sorry, died on me.
He's new to it. So anybody who's smoking cigars at home, watching him smoke it, give him a break.
Again, I'm used to inhaling because I usually are. It's not cigars.
No, but it is all natural.
It is a plant. It's made that way. And if you should so happen to set it on fire, it has some effects.
I don't know what he's talking about because we don't promote that type of stuff in our particular format. But yeah, so glad you found us. We're just getting started. Like we said, we've been talking about doing this for a long time, and we're trying to come up with an idea of what to do as a podcast. And then we put our brains together and realized there's just so much random shit that we talk about, rant about, rave about, and basically put on a pedestal. So that's why we are here. Why? Because we feel that there are a lot of people out there just like us, and we also feel that there are some people out there who are not like us and probably going to hate us. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get Santa Claus, and let me tell you right now, for you fuckers out there to call me Santa Claus, be original, okay? You think I haven't fucking heard that before?
And also, by the way, I genuinely hope that I do piss somebody off. But if I do piss you off, you're probably going to be material.
Yes, nobody is safe. So, with that being said, let's move on to our next topic, which I don't know. Let's pull into the random invisible box of topics, and we pull out same-sex marriages.
I don't give two fiddly fucks, honestly, and I really don't get why anybody else does. Here's my favorite one. I'm not a big fan of Daniel Tosh, but I'm going to quote him on this one because the way he said it, I fucking love it. Is that basically, let's pretend that everybody against it right. Let's pretend that the Christian God is against us. Which, by the way, Jesus never said two fucking words about it. Just want to throw that out.
Jesus had two dads, and he turned out okay.
Yeah. But if y'all are right, they're not going to get into heaven anyway. Y'all are going to have Peter and Paul standing there at the fucking pearly gates like 2 6'5" fucking linebackers. So what difference does it make? At the end of the day, we're just trying to get by. Like, I'm married to a woman, he's married to a woman, but why the fuck do y'all care so bad?
Yeah. The way I see it is like if you're not hurting anybody, infringing on somebody's rights, and you're doing right by yourself, trying to be a better version of you, every single day, then go on and do yourself. Be yourself. Don't sit there and try to belittle other people. And we can get on this whole topic of what the Christian Book of Bedtime Stories says, and things of that nature, because Christian mythology has its own views on it. But I'd like to point out that in the 1950s, it was mistranslations, and it was basically done by an agenda. They changed a word that actually meant pedophile to now create for homosexuality. But, something along those lines. I don't know the full history about it. There are several people out there on TikTok, YouTube, and stuff like that who delve deep into the subject matter and let you know exactly that, hey, you know what, this is a book written by men, and that's pretty much what it is. So it was pretty much an agenda because pretty much 2,000 years ago, nobody gave a fuck who you fuck. You can fuck the watermelon. Who would give a shit? Thank you, Dennis Leary, for that one, because I use that all the fucking time.
Oh, and also, I'm gonna piss somebody off with this. Okay.
For those of you in the back that did not hear that, King James liked dick. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, we're going to talk about whatever and whatever, and I'm sure at some point we're going to actually develop, come up with the topics that we want to talk about. Right now, we're just getting our bearings straight and checking things out, and want to introduce you to us. As scary as that may seem, and I do feel sorry for a lot of our friends, and I do envy the time that they have away from us, and others, I really don't give a fuck.
And also, by the way, I did go ahead and I did make a TikTok for this. I did a Twitter account for this. I'm still calling it Twitter because fuck you.
In your fucking car.
And your midlife crisis.
I think that about covers. Yeah.
And your dick rocket. I'm trying to think. What other did we make any other accounts?
We do have a YouTube, and we do have a Discord channel.
Yeah. So at least on YouTube, I think we should probably put all this in the description. I know once I post any of this to TikTok, I'm also going to post both of our personal TikToks to it. I'm a little bit more active. I'm very much all over the place. It's actually kind of how we got.
Well, that's why I'm Ed McMahon and he's Johnny Carson.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else that we want to cover right now?
I'm not sure. We can talk about all sorts of things. We could talk about the Sofa King.
The recliner records. Fuck! I had one the other day.
The couch cradler.
I had one. Somebody, I cannot fucking wait to post this. So, for anybody watching this, for those of you who don't know, apparently some of the people that I'm mutuals with on TikTok like to send me shit to blind react to. Some of them are cursed and they get to watch me die a little bit inside. But lately, there's been a trend of AI making songs. And one of them is about James with the fucking couch. I believe I recorded it. All of my shit goes into drafts because TikTok does not like to post shit manic, just back to back to back. So I spread it out. I have about 13, 14 videos on my drafts right now. I cannot wait to publish this. It's so fun. The AI country ones are absolute best. They're so fun.
There's a dick in my butt.
I have heard so many different songs that mention a gun up their ass, and I don't understand why.
I think I'm loving the Taco Bell wrecked my anus one. So
I just put that one out yesterday, I think. Day before.
I heard that and I was like, yeah, I relate. Fucking Nachos Belgrande. Looks the same as it fucking went in.
However, I will say, when I was broken, I needed food. Taco Bell was there for me because it's not great food, but it's cheaper than I can get it anywhere else.
Well, back in my day, you could actually go at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You got a bunch of your stoned friends and drunk friends, and you were the designated driver and shit like that. You go through Taco Bell, they'd order like the 10 for 10 soft taco deal and nachos Belgrande and whatever shit they had back then. You get up to window and they start handing you their cash. It's like, dude, this is only half of it. And then they start giving you more. And that way it's like, oh no, it only came to $20, but I made out with 80.
Yeah. I remember it was actually something about a year ago. It was some politician on TV trying to talk about inflation. He said something about like, oh, I would took my family to Taco Bell. We spent $60. Every news anchor is hearing this. Where the fuck did you spend $60 at Taco Bell?
It was in Russia. I hear the rupee, the ruble, whatever the fuck it is. Not doing so well against the dollar.
Oh God, I remember that. I still have not watched the full video of that shit that Tucker Carlson did, but
Oh, fuck him.
I remember seeing the grocery trip, and he was so fucking blown away. We're all like, dude, have you not heard of Aldi?
Well, I mean, the 10 for 10 deals at like Kroger or Albertsons or stuff like that, that's not the type of grocery store he goes to because it's not run by all white people.
Yeah. Actually, it was funny. I saw a video about a week ago, and Joe Rogan is actually talking about Aldi. He's talking about the quarter and the cart and everything. So fucking mind blowing. I'm like, dude, I understand that you have enough money that you probably don't shop here, but how is this new to you? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I think the only quarter Joe Rogan sees is a bag.
Yeah, that tracks.
So, but yeah, once again, if you kind of like our ranting and rambling and stuff like that, drop us a message. Fucking tell us off. I don't give a shit. We'll fucking use it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just cannon fodder in our point of view. I mean, we don't take ourselves seriously, so we don't understand why you would take us seriously. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're just two guys. I would say two old guys, but Eli's the only one that is like pushing 90.
But one of my favorite sounds that I get to use on TikTok because it explains me so fucking well. It's like, I'm not a content creator. I'm a dipshit with a phone. Sometimes I'm going to post funny shit. Sometimes I'm going to be stupid shit. But it's going to be a lot of shit.
Yeah. And like I said, depending on the day, something happens, something major happens, I'm sure that we'll have something very serious to say about it. We'll get down to the nitty gritty and, give our 2 cents on it and whatnot. It's not going to be all comedy. No, we can't do that. We're running out of material within the first couple episodes, and we don't want to fucking do that. Because I got a lot of material to write, and I don't want to fucking run out of material. I just got to keep recycling it and be like, hey, let's just put a different spin on this motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, me personally, I know I'm always watching something different on Twitch or something like that. So there's always that I can talk about. Like I actually just finished the live action Avatar. Not bad. I actually need to make a video about that.
I liked it. I think it was a little rushed. And I'm only doing that in comparison to the animated version, which preceded it, or preceded it. One of those fucking words came before it. Let's just fucking use simple words because I'm a simple person. But I felt it was a little rushed, because I don't know what is up with Hollywood. I get the fact that you're spending shit tons of fucking money on special effects and everything else to make a show look great. But the thing is we want more than fucking 8 to 10 fucking episodes. And I'm tired of fucking. I want my fucking Cobra Kai now. I don't want to wait till November for fucking part 2 and then 2025 for fucking part 3. I want my fucking Cobra Kai now. Fucking Johnny Lawrence is the fucking king.
That reminds me, I actually still have to watch Umbrella Academy. I forgot that just came out.
Oh yes, I've already seen the first 3 episodes.
But no, with Avatar, so when the live action released, I went ahead and watched the shows. Never watched them before. So I watched Avatar, then I watched Korra, now I watched the live action. One of the biggest things that I noticed was just character development. And I feel two ways about this. In the original show, Aang kind of got on my nerves sometimes because I felt like he wasn't understanding the gravity of the situation. But then I had to remind myself, it's fucking 11. And in the live action show, I almost feel like they took that too much to heart because they took a lot of his playfulness away. And that was actually a lot of what made him an endearing character. Sokka, they didn't, so in the animated show, Sokka was a lot more misogynist. And they dialed it back. And I feel two ways about this because on the one hand, him being a misogynistic prick was part of his character journey because once they got to Amashu and Suki, no, it's Kyoshi Island. It's Kyoshi Island.
Okay.
And Suki whooped his ass. And he's like, oh, girls can fight. So there was that. But I talked to a woman about this, and she said that they get so much misogyny thrown at them all the time that they're okay with this one being cut out. And I understand that point of view, but it took some of his character.
Yeah, no, and I have to agree with you on that. I mean, yeah, he was very misogynistic in the animated series and dialed back. But I understand why they dialed it back. But I do feel that it's if you follow the story through all the entire animated series, it was almost like a redemption arc for him
Yeah.
towards the end, and not having that in the first season, as misogynistic as he was, I think it takes away from that redemption. That he's like, hey, I'm actually turning into a decent human being.
However, I kind of wonder if, now, we're speculating, there's no spoilers involved here because it hasn't fucking happened. But I kind of wonder, the thing that he takes the most seriously right now is Protective Warrior. And to be quite honest, he's not that fucking good right now in the show. He's not. So maybe that's what they're going to focus on. It's just him developing as that. Maybe that's what.
And if they do, I mean, that'd be great because then it kind of keeps along the same tracks of having that arc of is like, oh, the whole thing is about becoming a better individual, at least with Sokka's story, and having something of that nature. How can I better protect? How can I better provide? Not just for my friends and family, but for myself. How can I grow? How can I, move on to something bigger and better than what I already am?
Yeah. I have one friend. He actually doesn't like how they dialed up Katara's power level with this. I'm okay with it because they established very early on the reason that she's a weaker bender is because she has to do everything the secret way. So if I get the sense that once she has a little bit of direction, which she got off of the scroll, and she now has the space to breathe in practice, she starts getting really fucking. So they changed how strong she actually is, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, and I think it went well because, I mean, again, we're only dealing with 8 fucking episodes, Netflix. You're going to have to dial up the action in some way, shape, or form and cut stuff from the storyline or combine stuff. Kind of like what they fucking did with Neville in the Harry Potter films,
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was fucking Dobby that found the fucking little fucking room of requirement. Not Neville.
Yeah.
Not Neville.
Although, one thing I will say, live action Avatar, the cast is so fucking good.
Yeah, and they pronounce his name right.
Which one, Aang?
Aang, because the M. Night Shyamalan, they called him Ong. Like, like if I hit like a little symbol behind me.
So, there's only, as far as the character design that I saw a little bit, I'm nitpicking here, it really doesn't matter.
But I just got smoke in my eye.
Well, at least it wasn't just me. Iroh, I think I'm used to this because of how he was drawn. In the cartoon, in the animated show, Iroh's hair is pure white. And in the show, it's a lot more gray, which looks a little bit different, but it's fun. I do think they need to improve Iroh's dialogue a little bit. In the animated show, he's just dropping gems on constant.
Well, you had the great, Kung Fu legend, I think it was Kung Fu, but Mako. Mako did the voice of, the general in the original animated Avatar.
And the other thing that I would change is Zuko's scar. Because in the live action series, it's not that cool. It's actually, if you put him in the right light and maybe put a hat on him or something, it's actually very easy to hide. In the animated show, no, that's a fucking beacon on his face.
Well, what I want to see more of is, and again, if it goes any way the animated series went, was Zuko's sister, Azula. That actress don't know her name off the top of my head, but she nailed it. I mean, you want to talk about a psychopath that is just out for one thing and, has this character that she needs to portray. This young woman just nailed that role. And it when she took the screen, when she was on camera, she commanded that, and it was like she was better than the people around her. And you got some really, really talented actors and actresses that were around her, and she just nailed it. I mean, to a point that it's like, I would spend good money to watch her in any movie, television show that she is in. I don't care if it's a remake of the fucking Notebook or the Titanic. Two movies which I have never seen. And I'm still, if I had real wood here, I would knock on it because I count my blessings that I've never seen them. Because then I can say I've never seen them. And that's something most people can't say.
Although one thing I would say, they are making it out to be like Azula still actually has an axe to grind with Ozai also. In the animated show, that was they're even making Azula a little bit sympathetic. You can see how much Ozai is playing her. But that I never got that gist from the show. Like, Zuko, you could see from season 1 his redemption arc. You could see it. So the fact that he's a more sympathetic character, I'm okay with it. I saw it coming miles away from the show. But in the live action show, Azula and Ozai were always on the same. I think maybe the one time that they were, I think may have been at the end of the series when he told her to stay behind in the capital while he went to go fight. And I think that's the only time they really disagreed. But other than that, they were on the same page the whole fucking. So the live action show did change up.
Once again, this show does come with a parental advisory. Well, I mean, if they can Deadpool and Wolverine say fuck 118 times out of the 119 times it's been in the MCU, that movie is what, close to 2 hours? I'm thinking we can beat it in probably 10 minutes.
Also, by the way, for those of you who are not aware of this, if you've seen Deadpool, hell, if you've seen the commercials, there's a part where he says, "I'm Marvel Jesus." That gets better than you think, because Deadpool and Wolverine broke records set by Passion of the Christ. So when he says, "I'm Marvel Jesus," I think he got closer to the mark than he meant to.
Well, there's a lot of great tropes and Easter eggs, throughout the entire movie. I can sit here and probably rattle them all off, but why would I spoil that for anybody? Go see the movie. It's phenomenal. Join us next week when Ryan Reynolds is our guest.
That would be fun to go.
Oh, that'd be great. I don't think I'd be able to get a word in edgewise.
Honestly, I'm not really sure that I would care.
No, I wouldn't. Ratings through the roof, and on episode 2, that'd be phenomenal.
But actually, that was one of my favorite moments about it. When Blade said, "I don't like it," and Deadpool's like, "You never did." I love that because, number one, it's well documented there's tension behind the scenes, Blade or Wesley and everybody else, especially Ryan Reynolds. But I don't know how well known this is. In the scene where I think they had just rescued him, he's like on a bed and they're talking to him. And, he makes some of his wisecrack comments, which also, by the way, that's one of the only good things about Blade Trinity is Ryan Reynolds got Fox's attention for Dead with that role. That's one of the best things about that. But anyway.
Yeah, I'd go into, I would say things about Wesley Snipes and, speaking to the Blade Trinity, movie, but I'm sure at his age he can still kick my ass. So I'm not gonna put. I love you, Wesley, dude. You are the only Willie Mays Hayes, the only Willie Mays Hayes.
I fucking love the scene where they found out that he was bullshitting. They moved him out of the while he was still in bed.
Shit, I've been cut already.
He gets up out of the bed. It's still fucking. But anyway, where I was going on Blade Trinity. So when he walks away, he's like, he hates me, doesn't he? Ryan Reynolds didn't know the cameras were still rolling. That was not Hannibal King talking to Whistler's daughter. I don't know. That wasn't Hannibal King talking to Whistler. That was Ryan Reynolds talking to Jessica Biel, that Wesley Snipes hates him. That he did not know the cameras were rolling. So that was another moment that when he said that, you never did like me. It was so fucking. Although they actually did make peace on the set of this.
Yeah, and from my understanding, and from everything that I've read, that Ryan Reynolds is pushing for a final Wesley Snipes as Blade movie. So I don't know the legitimacy to that, but that is what I've been seeing reported on several, you know, movie outlets and things of that nature. So,
and that's another thing that I want to mention for anybody who has not seen it. So there's not a mid-credit scene. However, they do a montage and they're showing all of the Fox movies. So they're showing the X-Men movies, the original trilogy, the reboot prequel stuff, with First Class and Days of Past. They're showing the Fantastic Four movies. And all of this is set to the soundtrack of Green Day's. And honestly, it's kind of sappy in a good way. It actually did kind of make me want to cry because, you're seeing this as, this is the end of a journey that Fox put us on decades ago. And honestly, when you look at it in its entirety, it's been fucking great. Not all the movies have been good, but on the whole, it's fucking great.
So yeah, just like they're talking about doing Young Avengers and things of that nature, which I think, and it might be trying to get a younger audience into the MCU, but I still think it's great because you have some great characters. You have Haley Steinfeld who plays Kate Bishop, which even in the, honestly, it didn't get that great of reviews, but I think Hawkeye was probably one of the stronger showings of the MCU television shows that Disney recently put out. I would go as far as saying it's probably as strong as WandaVision.
And also, I will watch any scene that has Kate Bishop with Blade. They are so good together. First, Florence Pugh, I fucking love her. She's so good.
She's my spirit animal. Her and Dua Lipa.
All right, I'm not going to fault you that one. But she's so charismatic as and in a weird way that I can't really put my finger on. But her introduction to Hawkeye, she's just casually talking to Kate. Oh yeah, I'm here to murder Clint while I'm making mac and cheese.
You want some hot sauce?
I love her energy, and honestly, the more I've seen from her, the more I like. Off topic, but Midsummer, she's fucking good in Midsummer. It's a weird ass movie, but she's really good.
Yeah, a lot of great actors and actresses, being brought into the MCU. Since we're on MCU and talking about actors being brought in, might as well get your thoughts on RDJ coming back to play Doctor Doom.
I was actually going to ask if you want to save that for this one, but we can talk.
No, we can save it for the next one if you want. I'm fine with that. I haven't really gotten your thoughts on it. Well, I kind of have and I kind of haven't. But
I know that I published a TikTok on it, but I actually don't think that he's true Victor Von Doom. I actually saw an article. There's a theory / rumor. So take this with a grain of salt. But that he's going to be casting role. And that actually makes sense. So for anybody who's not, I'm not actually that well versed. It was somebody on Facebook who pointed this out to me. Just go on, just Google. I think there's a Marvel page. Just look up Anthony Stark, and I think that's what we're getting. So essentially, do you know the Superior Spider-Man story?
Yeah.
That's Anthony Stark.
Okay.
So you see what I mean when he's not the true Victor Von Doom. I think there is. However, this is still a multiverse because they all watched him die. They were all at his funeral. So seeing him come back with that same face, it cannot be our Tony Stark. It has to be an alternate. But I think that's the route they're going to travel. But my only question is, how? Because that's a lot of story to tell in 2 to 2.5 hours. We all saw from the theatrical cut of Justice League, you can only do so much in 2 hours without fumbling the ball. So it's not that Justice League had a bad premise, or it's just that they cut too much out. And I worry that they may be overly ambitious. If I'm right about the direction.
It's possible. I mean, you could always go, and there's a couple things floating around. I think it was a fan theory, maybe a fan fantasy more. Steve Rogers takes the Mind Stone, goes back or the Soul Stone, and when he gets back, there's no Red Skull, so he becomes the protector of the Soul Stone. So, you could always take that route, with Secret Wars, and you have to have Cap come back, which would be Steve Rogers in this instance. We're not talking about Sam or anything like that, even though I love the direction they're taking that character for the new Captain America movies and stuff like that. But you could have it to where Cap comes back. He's a protector of the Soul Stone, and in order they're having some kind of issues trying to take out Galactus and stuff like that, he has to bring back Tony Stark because they need that mind to help them. Banner's brilliant. Peter Parker's brilliant. You got a lot of brilliant minds in the MCU, but they just need that one person who can think not outside the box, not inside the box, but think that there is no box type of thinking. And that is yeah. So there might be one of those types of instances. And again, this just is like a fan fantasy, or a theory, or something of that nature. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. We're not in Disney's employ, although we could be.
I'm more knowledgeable.
Yeah. So our emails will be at the bottom, Disney, if you want to get a hold of us. I write, I produce, I direct. I also do some acting. Eli is a voice actor, just like myself, and he's also a writer, and he's very charismatic. And you need to get us on your payroll.
Shit, I will go so far as to say that on the way home from when Spider-Man 2 came out, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, me and a buddy of mine, Frank, we're driving home, and we already thought up on the car ride home, so 25 minutes, a better version of Venom than what we got. And essentially, I think this is actually not too far off from the comic versions, but if you think about Spider-Man 2, so they introduced Jameson's son as an astronaut. So he could be out, some kind of mission, maybe satellite, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You can do whatever you want with that. But the symbiote attaches to him. Not for any particular reason, he just hitches a ride. And then he goes to visit his dad in his office at Jameson's office at the Daily Bugle. And symbiote, for whatever random reason, drops off. He just hangs out. And then when Peter shows up, he senses Peter's power and decides to be a stowaway with Peter. And then you can get the scene that we got in the movie where it just crawls on him. Then we get the black suit. then we, which makes a lot more sense than a fucking meteorite landing, and it just so happens to have Venom here. Oh, speaking of which, have you seen the trailer for for Venom Last Dance?
Yes, I have.
That was actually attached to it.
How fast you can make that thing go before it drops dead? Let's find out.
Do you think we're getting Null?
Possibly. I don't want to give any of my mental spoilers.
Again, if there's anybody who is not familiar with this, Null is essentially a primordial. Null created symbiotes. He is the god of the symbiotes. And if you've seen the trailer, the symbiote race, the Clintar, has found him. If we're not getting Null, then why the fuck not? And Null is so fucking powerful that in the comics, they did not even fight him. They fought a projection of him, basically an avatar of him. Like, and I think he killed Sentry.
I don't recall. I'd have to go back through my entire collection.
I think he did.
We'll go with it. He killed him.
Which, Sentry, look him up. He's a bad motherfucker. He's supposed to be in the Thunderbolts. It was going to be Steven Yeun, but he dropped out. I'm okay with it because
Well, he's doing voice acting now, isn't he?
he's invincible.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. I normally do not care about swapping a character because 90% of these characters were created at a time where it was basically illegal just to be black. So that's why we have so many white characters. So race swapping a character, if it does not change their story, I don't care. And the example that I always go back to is Jamie Foxx's Electro. What did his race have to do with the fucking character or the story? Not a goddamn thing. So it could have been fucking Jamie Foxx. It could have been Michael Cera. I don't give two shits. Although that actually might have been funny.
Well, when they race swap for this, I request Denzel Washington. Academy Awards, Oscars, dude. You want to play me, Denzel? I'm sending it to you. Sending it to you, Denzel.
Oh my god! If you haven't seen it, there's a video when they took a still of him in the Gladiator movie, and this dude does a really, really good impression of Denzel, and he's kind of taking lines from other Denzel movies, but incorporating it into this. But yeah, I have a Caesar. That's not my name. Like he's doing this shit. It's so good. And I'm aware that impression was horrible. I'm not good at that one. But fuck, where did I? Oh yeah. So I was talking about race swap.
And this is what I do to him.
So again, I don't give two shits. As another example, there was a rumor about Steven Yeun playing Dick Grayson in a live action, which honestly, Dick Grayson's main trait is being an acrobat in circus. Yes, his name is Richard Grayson, so a Korean dude playing him might be a little bit weird, but we could make it work. But now, when it comes to Steven Yeun, was originally going to play Sentry. The dude's name is Bob Reynolds, which I understand. I literally just made that argument about Dick Grayson, but a blonde, and him being blonde, that's part of his aesthetic. So a blonde-haired Bob Reynolds, played by a Korean dude. I'm not saying it can't work, but it's a little weird at first.
Why not? Scarlett Johansson did it.
We're not going to talk about that. I mean, look, if we're going to go down that route, of course, it's Gods of Egypt, but I think both personally do not fucking like that
one. Well, I mean, it's like I love a lot of these period pieces now that you get, and we're gonna leave Vikings out of this because they actually do a pretty decent job of casting people of that particular descent and can actually pull off a halfway decent accent. But I watched some of these period pieces, and they're in Rome. I don't want to get it because the show's great, but it's those about to die. Um, Show's pretty good, but everybody's got an English accent.
I absolutely hated that about Valkyrie, Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah,
Um, it's a great movie. It's actually, from what I understand, it's one of the most accurate adaptations there's ever been. A lot of the dialogue in the movie is what the real people said. Tom Cruise looks like fuck was his name, Klaus something.
I am Klaus.
He looks like the guy, so I understand why they cast Tom Cruise. Plus, he's a marquee name. Tom Cruise is the only son of a bitch. Entire movie speaks with an American fucking accent, which if he was anybody else, I wouldn't care. He is a German officer.
So he channeled his best Kevin Costner impersonation. Is what you're saying?
Well, no, because Kevin Costner is still spotty. He occasionally did an accent.
Christian Slater had a better English accent than Kevin Costner in fucking Prince of Thieves.
Slater wasn't that old.
Yeah, he played Will Scarlet. He's like, because the best line he had is like, "Fuck me, he cleared it."
I still maintain, and I will die on this hill, that Men in Tights is the best live-action Robin Hood that we've got.
Yes, no, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Anything Mel Brooks does is great. By the way, Blazing Saddles is going to be having its 50th anniversary here in a couple weeks.
I actually need to watch. I was telling my son about it. I need to watch. I think it's on Max right now. We watched Major Payne, so now he understands a lot of the references that I like to make.
Let me tell you about the little engine that could.
Oh no. So prior to the movie, I told my son about the scene with the deaf kid. So all I had to do with my son is do this, and he understands what I'm saying to him.
Don't tell Mama I need my field knife.
And not to mention, we got to see Karen Parsons shake her ass at the camera. I can't.
Yeah. So when I edit this, I'm gonna have to go back and try to see if I can get that in there and just have it just going across the screen. Don't come at me. I have no money. That's why I'm doing a podcast. I have a lot of free time.
Although I will say though, Damon Wayans actually, you tend to forget he's actually one of the funny.
Yeah, and he's actually a very good actor even when it comes to serious roles.
I don't know if I've seen him in a series.
Last Boy Scout. He was the football player. It was along with Bruce Willis. I can't remember the whole plot of it, but the whole movie starts out. The running back comes up like the middle and pulls out a gun and shoots a linebacker right in the chest and stuff like that. But apparently I think he's got like gambling debts or something like that. And, they come and kill his girlfriend who happens to be a informant or a confidant to Bruce Willis's character, and then basically it's Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans going around through the whole movie, fucking shit up. Just in the best way that Bruce Willis can fuck shit up, and Damon Wayans could, add a little bit of comic relief to it, but for the most part, it was a very serious role that he took on.
Why am I immediately thinking of Die Hard?
Oh, because you got, the greatest of all time. If Denzel's not available, I will take Sam Jackson.
To be fair, my autobiography would require much use of motherfucker.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe, he can do split role. They can put him in whiteface. And he could do me, and but he can't change his voice. He still has to be Sam Jackson, And we're talking, like the Pulp Fiction Sam Jackson.
Oh my God! If you hadn't seen him or watched Samuel L. Jackson in the show, him and Charlie, which Mr. Charlie fucking, he did not get me. He did not get me. what he was. But him and Charlie Murphy are playing these white dudes. They're ex-military, and they're fucking insane. And he even took a couple of his Pulp Fiction bits. There's a part where they're in a car. They're looking for something. So somebody that the kids Hugh and Riley know got wrongfully arrested for a murder. They're looking for the real murder. And he's in the car. He's talking about his experience in Iraq. And like we was looking for weapons of mass destruction. Did y'all find them? You know, goddamn well we didn't find them. But I always say the evidence of absence is not the absence of evidence. And like there are known knowns, there are unknown knowns, and there are unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know. Riley's in the back. What? And it just keeps going like that for a little bit. And of course, eventually, because it's Samuel L. Jackson, say what again, motherfucker?
You know, I just realized who could play you in our own, biopic. Kirk Lazarus.
I'll have to look. Hang on.
Tropic Thunder.
No, what I used to say, because I used to shave my head. I used to say that no, if I ever had a movie about me, Noah Guglielmi could play me. Those of y'all who don't know, because he's kind of he gets bit roles all the time. He's like the generic Mexican thug. The Training Day, they were actually the ones who was about to kill Ethan Hawke. He was in Bruce Almighty. He was the dude that they made a monkey come out of his ass. He was in Dark Knight Rises. He was in Fast and Furious. You ever seen the meme where they say that Mexican plays Hector in every movie?
Yeah.
That's Noah Guglielmi. So back when I used to shave my head and I did not grow a full beard, I purposely left my mustache disconnected. Oh, that was dead on.
And then with the white tank top on and the chest tattoo coming up.
Yeah, I used to say all the time that, like, I've grown up, people have always told me that I look Puerto Rican or Mexican or one of those, and I never really saw it. But then I got a little bit older, and my hair got a little bit longer. This is actually kind of short right now. And then you can see my fucking chest tattoo coming up at the top of my shirt. But you can see the shirt here. I'm like, yeah, I'm not helping my case when I say that I don't look Hispanic. Hell, we used to joke around. So his ex is Mexican? Or
she's Hispanic, yes.
She's Hispanic. And of course she's legal. I think she's born. So shut the fuck out. But we used to joke that, if they're going to do a mass deportation, they're going to pick her up. They're just going to throw my ass in with her, even though I'm not even fucking Hispanic.
So when we actually went to karaoke one time, and this is back when he had the longer hair, and he was doing Outkast version of Hey Ya, and he was just like, all back and forth, and the hair is just like flopping back and forth, and it's.
I almost had my wife take a flat iron to it just to smooth it out, just so I could fucking do that. Because she did it once, and honestly, like, I'm not gonna say it didn't look bad. That's subjective. But yeah, I had a whole ass fucking Cat Williams going on.
Oh my god!
Although, like I said, the next time that we do go, I have fucking props for this, so I can wear this.
Shit.
I can do fucking Bruno Mars. I have another one with the black band on it. I was gonna do Smooth Criminal, but
with the lean, he's actually gonna perform the lean too.
Well, the microphone stand. But like I said, I'm not going to do the Michael Jackson version of Smooth Criminal because it doesn't translate very well for karaoke. I'm going to do the Ant Farm version because that's a lot more fun. But I'm still going to do the Fedora because it's Michael Jackson.
All right, we thank everybody for joining us today. Just check us out. We have all the socials. We'll put those up there and whatnot. You want to send us messages through YouTube, TikTok, Discord, whatnot. We'll put all the information up there so you can find us. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to change. We won't fucking change it, but let us know what you want to change.
Unless it's a good idea.
If it's a good idea, we'll change it and take full credit for it. So you have been listening to Men Behind the Curtain. I am your co-host, Pitt.
I'm Eli.
And Once again, we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.